Hello there, you gorgeous, radiant person you, and welcome to another trouser-jiggling episode of Techspert Weekly, the weekly tech news show that's about as well received as Oprah Winfrey at Windsor Castle. And there's been so much huge news this week, included the frankly unwarranted return of the dreaded budgie smuggler, the one thing that makes me kind of glad I can't actually go on a holiday right now. And Katie Price's daughter was banned from TikTok. I mean, Jesus, maybe TikTok isn't such a shower of shit after all. And there's been a fair bit of tech-related shenanigans as well, quite a lot this week in fact, so let's crack on with the show. Getting jingly with it. Techspert Weekly! So first up, big news for OnePlus fans out there, as we know that the fresh new OnePlus 9 series of flagship smartphones will be launched on March the 23rd at 2 PM UK time. And the real headline here is that OnePlus has teamed up with Swedish optics expert Hasselblad for the 9 series in a bid to rival big boys like Samsung and Huawei in the camera stakes. Leaks and rumours suggest we'll see 2 or maybe even 3 new phones in all, possibly introducing a more affordable Lite model, while the more premium handsets will boast premium tech like Qualcomm's Snapdragon 888 chipset and a 120Hz display. You find a few more details and some trippy video action featuring a bouncing moon thing over at oneplus.com/uk/launch. Maybe lay off whatever you're smoking, guys. We'll be seeing some more details revealed on the OnePlus 9 series in the run-up to that big day, and hopefully I will have some tasty hands-on action for you come March the 23rd. And to celebrate the impending launch, OnePlus actually sent me a mystery box in the mail, which for a split second I thought might well be the OnePlus 9 until I opened it up and discovered instead that it actually contains 2 packets of freeze-dried ice cream. Gotta say, I've never tried astronaut ice cream before, so let's give it a whirl. Kind of reminds me of insulation foam, but fair play, it does actually smell like ice cream randomly. Yeah, I don't think that ice cream has anything to worry about anytime soon, that's for sure. Christ, if astronauts have to eat this, I feel even more sorry for them than I did before. It's no wonder they shit in their spacesuits. This week also saw a couple of big new, very expensive smartphones launch globally, starting with this shiny wee brick here, the ROG Phone 5. It's a girthy monster but mightily impressive, which coincidentally are the exact words your mum said to me last night. In this corner of the world, you'll be able to grab the cheapest ROG Phone 5 for €799. And yeah, not exactly particularly affordable, but to be fair, considering it's an absolute beefcake, that's not a bad price. As you'd expect from a gaming smartphone, you've got some fresh Snapdragon 888 action, a hyper-responsive 144Hz display, and more gamer features than you can shake a really bloody big stick at. I've already done you a full unboxing for a closer look at all the specs and the hardware, and also a separate gaming review where I spent hours on titles like Vainglory and Genshin Impact, slowly realising that I'm now an old man who doesn't understand how games work anymore, and even if I did, my wrists are already shot from far too much time spent on the internet. Curse you, internet! Oh, bollocks. And this week, Oppo finally unleashed its Find X3 Pro flagship, which is a more straight-laced premium smartphone starting from 1,099 quid. But you get similar top-end specs, including that Snapdragon 888 chipset, plus a 6.7-inch Quad HD Plus screen with 120Hz refresh, and a beefy bit of camera tech. And all of that wizardry is packed into a shiny mirrored frame that you can do your hair in. Or just admire how equally shiny your bonce is. And my Find X3 Pro unboxing is live right now. Go check that out for an in-depth tour of this bad boy, and my full review should be going live starting next week. Sonos also hit the headlines this week with its super cute dinky new Sonos Roam speaker, which resembles a kind of tech Toblerone, and god damn it, now I really fancy a Toblerone. It's a rugged wee chap with full IP67 water resistance to survive life outdoors, with a 10-hour battery life and support for Qi wireless charging. And when you come back home, you can instantly swap playback from the Roam to any other Sonos speaker. And the Roam includes integrated Alexa and Google Assistant support, so it's smarter than a Dolphin Pi. And this mini speaker goes on sale from April the 20th for 159 quid. Hopefully bring you a full review soon. And also, Cold Pi's new tech company, Nothing, still doesn't have any actual devices to launch or anything like that, but they did this week share a concept device picture, which is supposed to express the company's design principles. So here's the picture. I mean, it kind of looks like a tape dispenser, right? Anyway, we're really pressed for time now, banged on for far too long already, so now, regrettably, it's time for the part of the show that will relax your bowels faster than a triple-strength laxative washed down with a pint of Vindaloo. It's viewer comments. Viewer comments. So first up, D. Anderson says, after watching this, I was planning to complain about the amount of sexual references, but on reflection, I think that there are just enough. Yeah, that is the Uncle Spurt promise. More your mum jokes than any other shitty tech news show out there. Next up, John Burrows says, is Chris on speed or has he been overdoing the Red Bull? Well, I'm not really a fan of Red Bull, John, so hopefully that answers your question. No, I honestly can't even stomach Red Bull these days. The promise is I did far too many sicks that tasted and smelled of Red Bull, because back when I was 17, that was basically all I drank, vodka Red Bulls and cheap lager, of course. Bad times all around. Oh, any chemist could tell you alcohol is, in fact, a solution. There you go. First ever chemistry joke on Techspert Weekly. Only took, what, 53 episodes? Not too bad. Chazul says, that vomit in the bus story made me hit the like button instantly. Quality content. The only problem with reading these comments is there's no sarcasm meter. Apologies again for the copious amounts of bodily fluid stories last week. I don't know what was going on there, to be honest. Next up, Alistair Barter says, pint of Buckfast. Christ, Chris, that'll be a shortcut to a fight. Yeah, no, mate, after a pint of Buckfast and probably a couple of shandies on the side, the only thing I'll be having a fight with is the floor. I'm a peaceful soul. I'm a merry drunk. I certainly can't stir up trouble, mostly because I'm like 5'0" and weigh about as much as a split pea. Next, Pedro Silva says, I love beer, but I adore a good port here from Portugal. Good bit of Porto action, nice. Shout out to Portuguese viewers, yes, definitely big shout out. Love a bit of Portugal and Porto indeed. Enjoyed many a Super Bock there back in the day. If I had to live absolutely anywhere on earth, then Portugal would definitely be up near the top of that list, certainly in the top 5 or so. I mean, you've got amazing weather, fantastic, friendly, very chilled out people, and the food, oh my god. I remember the last time we went there, we ordered like a massive seafood platter, and we thought, we should probably try and get some vitamins, because all we've been doing is eating crap and drinking all day. So we ordered a side salad, and when the salad came out, all it was a plate full of cold meat, and I think maybe a couple of olives. I just love that you guys can describe cold cuts as a salad. I mean, who wouldn't want to live there? Next up, Connor asks, why is every Sunderland fan that I know bald? It's the stress, mate. I mean, we're either tearing it out ourselves or else it's just falling out in great big clumps every bloody Saturday. Although having said that, beat Pompey 2-0 during the week, so it's actually looking fairly optimistic, potentially pushing for automatic promotion, touch wood. Alexander Reed says, this guy is bald, ban 5G. I was bald long before the invention of 5G, mate. Christ. My hairline was receding when mobile phones were still massive f***ing things carried in bloody briefcases. More hair comments. Thanks, guys. Sujay says, will you show us your photo with hair to decide which one is better? I mean, it's been so long since I've actually had hair that I don't think there are any digital photos in existence of me with the stuff. I didn't even join Facebook until I was already a baldy bastard. There are definitely some old school analog efforts. Remember those old disposable cameras used to take on a night out? I've got a few photos of me in various states of disrepair, shall we say, in the likes of Sunderland, with the old... I used to have a bit of slick back action, believe it or not. But those albums are buried safely away in the attic, so you're out of luck there, I'm afraid. Next up, Errol Jackson says, hey Spurty, shout out to you from Jamrock, Jamaica. Big hello back to you guys at Jamaica. What I would give to be sat on a Jamaican beach slamming back some rum right now. Now seriously, if you live in a hot, sunny place with a nice beach and everything, can you just not message me in the comments anymore? Because I'm starting to get seriously freaking envious here. Like, if I'm remembering the lockdown rules correctly, you can't venture more than 5 miles outside of your own front door, so I couldn't go anywhere even near the coast, even if it was warm outside, which it isn't. The best I can manage is a jaunt to the local duck pond. Next up, Michael says, are you pulling an MKBHD on us with that thumbnail holding the Find X3 box? Yeah, that's me, just a massive prick tease, basically. But the full unboxing, as I mentioned before, is live and review next week. Next up, Sanjay says, oozing at the orifices for news on the Oppo Find X3 Pro. My Reno 10x zoom has served me very well, but eager to get something fresh and new. Oh man, that Reno 10x zoom, that was a classic smartphone. Love that pop-up selfie wedge thing, very cool. I do miss those pop-up cams actually. They were highly amusing for one, and they actually worked pretty well as well. It's better than slapping a selfie orifice right there on the display. I guess in time the plan is probably to replace them entirely with the under-screen selfie cams, but they'll have to get a lot better than the one on the ZTE Accent, which I reviewed at the Arse Ender last year, because frankly the selfie cam shots on that thing were proper balls. Next up, Dandy Highwayman. Now I've got Stand and Deliver stuck in my head. Says, can you recommend a mobile phone for someone with smaller hands? We even find the old iPhone 6 quite a chunky beast to hold. It's a massive struggle these days. Obviously, most things are 6.5, 6.6 inches. I did do a video recently on the best compact phones. Go check that out. And I am hoping to get a 4-inch Android smartphone in at some point to review as well. More on that hopefully soon. Daniel FN says, Techspert Weekly, it's getting weirder and weirder every week. Who knows what episode 100 will be like? Well, I mean, here's a sneak preview. The precious shiny. Well, frankly, mate, if we make it to episode 100, I'll dance a little jig of joy. That'll be quite the accomplishment. Or should I say, if we make it to episode 100 and there's still actually people watching, that will definitely be special. Weeb says, hey man, can you consider doing a best smartphone with OIS on a budget? I've got shaky hands and that's really important to me. Yeah, I mean, unfortunately, it is quite a rare feature to have a bit of optical image stabilization on your camera phones. In the more sort of budget realms, your best bet might be to get a flagship smartphone that's been reduced from like a year or two earlier. Off the top of my head, I think the Realme X3 Super Zoom and the OnePlus Nord both have OIS, but they're sort of more like the sort of £300 to £400 mark, so not exactly super budget. Michael Warren says, love the vids, mucker, munching on some peas pudding while watching this, yum yum. Yeah, no, peas pudding is something that I've never really got to grips with. I've never really been a massive fan of. I feel like I'm kind of betraying my northern roots by admitting this. Good old peas pudding and Savoy dips and all that stuff. I know my parents used to be big fans of it. I never got into it. I was always just more of a pasty man. Next up, the Rose family says, hi Chris, any chance for a shout out as our wedding anniversary is on March the 12th. We'll be celebrating with an evening viewing of Techspert Weekly. Well, happy frickin' wedding anniversary, but hopefully you can find something better to do than watch this shower of shit. Surely this is the time for all that romantic bollocks. Get a nice bit of smooth FM in the background, maybe crack out that candle that you got as a secret Santa present back in 2005, the one that smells like an explosion in a flower factory. Serve up a bit of posh nosh, bit of steak and chips, something like that, and then, crack on with it. Just don't get up to anything while you're watching this show, because I can actually see you through the camera. Ugh. Never seen it done that way before. Next up, Andrea says, he called iPhone crappy, question mark. Yeah, I know, right? A YouTuber who doesn't wank off Apple with both hands. String me up. Lambert says, what do you think is the best iPhone? I mean, I don't want to make you puke answering, but also I don't really care. Nice. Well, that's an easy one. It's the iPhone 12 mini for me. It's actually compact, unlike most other alternative phones. Unlike the iPhone SE 2020, the battery life isn't too crappy. Got decent camera, strong performance, all that good stuff. Unfortunately, it is running iOS, and it's still more expensive than the Pixel 5. But yeah, if you're gonna go Apple, that's the one I would go for, to be honest. Next up, Franz says, you look like Tango Tech. Who's that? Is he like the orange dude from the old Tango ads? I mean, I know I'm as bald as that dude, but I don't have the substantial man tits, surely, and also my skin isn't orange. I'd probably describe my complexion as fair maiden, or maybe basement dwelling hostage. Anyway, huge thank you to everyone who commented last week. Please do slap your comments down below and we'll crack through as many of those as possible next week. Gonna be another busy one. Lots of launches going on in March. So next week you can expect to kick off with some Realme content. We've got hopefully some Samsung shiz towards the end of the week, and also potentially a big competition as well. So have yourselves a fan-bloody-tastic weekend. Thanks again for tuning in. And if you haven't done it already, please do poke subscribe and ding the notifications bell for more of this bollocks. And hopefully see you next Friday, same time, same place, for more of the Techspert Weekly. Cheers everyone, love yous.